in to another NBA episode with the OG crew. And always look forward to doing it with my guys. We're -1 today, but Dutch will be back us next. What is
Tuesday.
today? Today's Thursday. So, yeah, he'll be back with us on Tuesday.
Let's go.
Babano, how you feeling today? How's everything been treating you?
Feeling great. I mean, it was a great night last night. The whole first month plus of the season's been absolutely terrific for me. One of the best starts I've had in the NBA in a couple of years. We've actually had good, profitable seasons the last 2 years, but the starts have been slow. It's actually been a better start this year, a really excellent start. And just hoping to keep it going here on this Thursday show. It's a good Thursday card. We got lots of games for a Thursday. Not always the case, but tonight it is. And there's some good spots out there.
Yeah, there's some stuff to like, that's for sure. And Wham Bam, talk to him. How you doing today? How's NBA been with you?
Oh man, I'm feeling blessed, bro. Happy to be back here with you guys. Like Babano said, since we started doing the show, it's been all solid. Last show, I think I had a negative day though, for sure, if I'm not mistaken. But we back at it, man. You already know it's another day, slowly, sure. So it's a long season, man. Seems like we're getting closer to getting over with that in-season tournament, so things to start to get a little bit normalized for us. So I'm excited about that. And then there, man, the chat, bro. Shout out to Cashville Rican. He hilarious. He said, no free promo. Shout out to you, bro. James Farr, shout out to him. Buzz Light definitely said he get the chance to watch us live. That was definitely caught my eye earlier on before we started. So shout out to you being able to catch us. And then Dan Kelly, yes, sir, we are starting. We just minus Dutch. That's the only problem today. But other than that, long card, couple backwoods. We're going to get to it, bro.
No doubt. How did that Oklahoma? We had a lot of disagreement with that game.
Right, yeah.
Oklahoma City, Minnesota. Now it depends on when you bet it, where you bet it, what number you got. Because I got +3.5, so I snuck a winner out with OKC the other night. So I'll take.
I got to push. That's cool. I pushed and you win. That's good.
I'll take that too.
Nobody loses.
The number. Yep. Depending on when you bet it.
We're doing our job. We're line shopping.
That's right. Yep. You should have won or pushed. Nobody should have lost on that game, regardless of what side you had.
Right, most definitely. And that's what it's about, for sure. Shout out to everybody that was out there with us too, man.
The real DJ says, let's keep cashing. And I'm with that. Dan, though, he says, today's card seems fishy. Yesterday was fantastic. And he said, told you Lake Show lightning points. Oh, this is the one time I got to put this on the screen, Wham Bam. He's saying something nice.
I can't believe it. Wow.
Clean cut, Wham.
I don't even have a cut right now. I'm gonna just take it. I'm gonna take the compliment and I'm gonna go along with it. I appreciate you, Queen. Shout out to you. We may not like what we got to say later. I'll just let you know that off top.
All right, let's get to it. 501, 502, Portland and Cleveland opened up Cavs -11, -12 right now. Total open 223, down to 220. Injury report, and I should have hit refresh already. That's my bad on this. Pretty sure it was nobody. Well, same guy, so it feels like nobody. Anthony Simons and Wainwright for Portland out. Ty Jerome, Rubio, Dean Wade out for the Cleveland side. And you do have Portland on 2 days rest compared to Cleveland on 1. Is this I'm coming to you, Babano. Is this Cleveland team, are they a team that you can trust to win by this kind of a margin in this game?
No, I don't think they are right now. And this was a team that last year was outstanding on their home floor. They haven't been that way necessarily, at least point spread wise this year. They are coming off the first real convincing, dominant victory at home as a favorite this year in their last game, though, against Atlanta, 128-105. So it was a really good performance there by the Cavaliers in that one. Portland to me is one of the worst teams in the West, 5-12. There's no doubt, but they've been feisty. They've been battling. This team is putting up a solid effort, competing hard at every night. I think even at the defensive end of the court, you're seeing some good things from them. I mean, they've held their last 3 teams 110 or less, beating Indiana as an underdog, and I was on Portland in that game. Milwaukee losing by 6. Hard-fought competitive game in that one. And then, of course, winning against Utah outright as a home underdog before that. So 3 straight point spread covers after a really dismal stretch for Portland where they were really struggling. If you look at the schedule here for Cleveland, they play again not till the weekend on Saturday. They play at Detroit. So, it's there's no real look ahead spot for them. But you look at this Cavaliers team as home favorites here. Before that Atlanta game, they were really, really struggling in that role. And, I get it that they're certainly the better of these two teams. They demolished an Atlanta team that's a little bit better than Portland. But, when I look at this matchup, and I know they're going to have everyone, for the most part, healthy. I mean, obviously, Jerome, Rubio, Wade's still out, but they got Garland. Mitchell's going to play. Max Strus, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. They're all in here tonight for Cleveland. But I don't know if I trust the 48 minutes of focus to be there for Cleveland enough tonight. In order to cover a number like this, especially with Portland covering 3 straight as a dog entering this game. So I haven't bet it yet, but I'm leaning a little bit to Portland. And what I do like as far as player props in this game is DeAndre Ayton over points for the Portland Trail Blazers in this game. I think when you look at the matchup, capabilities are there for him as far as getting on the scoreboard in this game. 8 and 4 to over his point prop in the last 12 games. So 8 and 4 to the over his point prop in the last 12. There has been some problems for Cleveland allowing point production to the 5 spot, the center spot throughout the course of the season. So that's my primary prop here, 8 and over points.
I like that.
Finger roll boy. Wham Bam, I'm coming to you in this one next. Are you trusting the finger roll boy? And also,
Makes sense.
I gotta put this one back up because she said you ain't see it, but she said you won't break my soul.
Yeah, that's funny. I was thinking it in my head when I read it too. And she said I brushed my beard today. It's funny as fuck. It's hilarious. Shout out to you, KC. I agree with Babano, man, and I really wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking his direction, to be honest with you, but that makes so much sense. Maybe dominating is a little late to the party, y'all. I mean, we just maybe maybe that's what it was, because I want to make fun of him for sure, but he's actually have been pretty solid. Double-doubles, like you said, last 2 games, 22, 14, 13, 13, both rebounds there. I think that he got to get to the boards today. Got to get to the boards. Got to be the guy that's scoring for him. I do like that they are getting some of their guys back with this Portland team. I just really, I don't know. Like, that was a sexy win with Cleveland, like you mentioned, Babano, that last one. But that's the only one we could really circle, right? Like, I mean, that Denver game wasn't that much. And then the Golden State game, they barely won that game down there too, just kind of down the stretch. So that was the most convincing game. I don't know, man. I do like what Brogdon has been bringing to this Portland team, just kind of keeping them as a professional team. That's why they haven't been able to get steamrolled as much as of late. And as far as like you said, they've been able to cover 3 straight times as a dog there. I kind of agree with the Portland side there. But I don't know, bro. It's just one of those games. This is one of those games I definitely want to get rid of. I want to circle in on props. I didn't think Aiden because I just skip him, bro. Like, it's just something about it. I just skip him. But you're right on that, Babano. I think that's probably the best bet. My first thing was going to go Darius Garland assists, because I think he's starting to get the rhythm there. He had back-to-back 8 assists. I think he could get back, to the double-doubles once they start to get more acclimated with these guys, the new team and everything. But I'm going to stay away from this game completely. But I think that Babano definitely put me on to Aiden. I do like that Aiden prop a lot. That's something I'm going to look into.
I'll throw out another one, too, that I forgot to mention. Max Strus over points for Cleveland. I think it's a good matchup. They give up a lot of dribble drive, Portland as well, and I think that suits Strus. I know Strus makes threes as well, but he's got that component to his arsenal. I think that's a good matchup. And he's starting to pick it up offensively. 20 points in the last game for Cleveland. He had 11 against Atlanta, 13 against the Lakers. It's only 12.5 as point prop. I think he can probably get over that number, Max Strus. And one more thing I'll say about the game, Skee. The under, I agree with the move. I agree with it because Cleveland's really ratcheted up their D in the last 2 games. Portland has actually played better defense last 3 to 4 games. You're not going to get a boatload of pace in this game. So I think I agree with the move to the under too.
I would agree with that. Not seeing a whole lot of pace. Looking at last 5 game stats, at least both bottom 10 offensive rated teams, you at least have Cleveland, who's number 6 on the year, defending the 3, and both teams bottom 10 shooting the 3. So I would think it's more of an under type game too. If I had to play it one way or another, definitely that. And I would only take the points. I would not be laying with Cleveland. I just, if you can't shoot the three well and defend the three well, I'm not expecting you to win by margin. That's just how I view it. Simple. So that's the Portland Cleveland game. Let's keep it moving. Next one up, 503, 504. Indiana and Miami opened up Heat -2. They're now a 2.5 point favorite pretty much everywhere. Total open 239.5. And we've seen it come down a point and a half to 238. As far as the injury report is concerned, you have TJ McConnell and Isaiah Jackson, both game time decision. They'll be without Jalen Smith. For Miami, Jimmy Butler's game time decision. RJ Hampton and Tyler Hero remain out. So I'll come to you on this one first, Wham Bam. This one, I already know what Bobano's going with, so I got to see if you agree. Because I agree with Bobano, I feel like. The way the Pacers play. Miami a little bit opposite. They like to play slow. They don't like to be as much of tempo. Can the Pacers pace up Miami in this game to get it up and over the total?
I think so. I think they are going to continue to keep this high scoring pace. It's all about Tyrese, though. We all know what's going on there. It's all about Tyrese Halliburton. He's the guy that's going to get everybody involved. Last game, he wasn't getting everybody involved. I had the assists. I had the 12.5. I mean, we saying he's not getting everybody involved. He had 9 assists, but it wasn't the same Tyrese Halliburton. It was more so like, in between the games, and he actually got 4 of those assists like really late. So I really think that his emphasis today is getting that ball pushed, not necessarily having these guys think too hard. They was really not reacting when they get the ball from him. I'm watching the game. Obviously, I got the money on it. I'm seeing them getting the ball. They trying to look around, and you have a wide open shot, shoot it, bro, or you're going to just throw the rhythm off, and that's a lot of what they were doing last game. I think they got to correct that. They had a few days off. It seems like they've been having a lot of games in between off this Pacers team, bro, and it's been maybe at their detriment or in their favor. So I don't know. Honestly, as far as the total, that kind of concerns me though, because they did have that with that egg. I think it was against Orlando with those 4 days off. This is not 4 days off; it's about 2 days off. But it just kind of gives me another like, man, maybe they offense may be a little bit stagnant a little bit. But I'm going right back to the well with Tyrese Halliburton, bro. I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to take the assist here, over 10.5 assists, -125. I just think that I'm going to obviously see this go down because he hasn't been able to hit it. We know what type of time he's going to be on. Do I think that this Heat team is going to slow him down enough at that guard spot? No, I think they're going to have to keep up with him. So I do like that over here. The only issue I have is like I said, I think the concern is just those couple of days off, but I think they figure it out and react when they get the ball from them. So that's why I'm going back to the well with the assist here. So I'm taking the 10.5 with assist with Tyrese Halliburton. That's official play for me. But as far as the over, yeah, I think I'm only going over here. You can't make me bet you can't pay me to bet the under. That's what I would say.
I agree. I'm never going to talk anybody off of a Halliburton prop, whether you want to look at his assists, you want to look at his double-double, anything like that. I'm always going to go for it versus any defense. But Bano, why the hell is this total going down? That's the only thing I keep thinking all day, because we know what we're getting from this Pacers side, and they played majority overs this year. So do you have any opinion why it's going down, and are you still getting to the window with the over?
I think it's because Miami's, plays slow. People think of them as a decent enough defensive team. And I think it's Jimmy Butler's questionable status. I think that's playing a role, even though they need him defensively too. But obviously that's a lot of points he provides them offensively. I think all those factors lead to the little under push. But as I've said, basically from the very first show we did when we reunited a few weeks ago, Indiana's been a meal ticket for me with their games over the total. Just every game pretty much I've been on Indiana's over. Now I was on it the other night against Portland. And it stayed under. But we just talked about Portland the last game. They're slowing it down, and their defense is picked up. Okay, so that played a big role in that game staying under. And let's be real, Portland is not a great offensive team. And finally, Indiana faced a team that they could keep under wraps a little bit defensively. That's not necessarily going to be the case here, especially if Jimmy Butler plays. Jimmy Butler plays too. I think I'm on the over anyway. I like the over regardless of whether Butler's in. If Butler's in, I actually might take Miami because it feels like this would be a good spot to back Miami off a couple of losses. I mean, 2 games without Butler, we saw what happened. Brooklyn and Milwaukee, they lost both of them straight up in ATS without Butler. So That's how important we know he is to them. Winless straight up in ATS the last 2 games without him. If he's back, definitely I'll grab the -2.5 here. Probably just take money line with Miami, but I'll be on the over regardless of his status. I think Miami, even without Butler on the floor, I'd like him in there, but if not, Duncan Robinson's going to be able to get what he wants. Bam around the rim. Maybe you get a little more punch from Kyle Lowry. You get more from the bench stepping up because Indiana just doesn't make it a component of their team game right now to defend anybody. So I do still like this over, regardless of the situational circumstances and regardless of the status of Butler right now. So over 238 for me in this game as official. I'll add Miami if Butler's in. Then as far as props go for this game tonight, what WAM said is 100% true. Points over assists for Tyrese Halliburton. Definitely I could see it. Do you know that he's actually gone over his assist prop in every game on the road this year for Indiana? Crazy. How about that? Every road game he's gone over his assists, over 10.5. So over 10.5 assists for Tyrese Halliburton. I actually think a combo points and assists could be worth a look because I think he's going to get his shot going tonight a little bit as well in this game against this Miami team. I don't think the matchup for Miami is great against him in particular. So over points and assists, you could do individual props on over points and over assists for Tyrese Halliburton, but definitely a combo of both I like.
Also, sorry for cutting you off, Skee. Damn, I just got my shit messed up. But Jaquez Jr. kid, man, I'm looking for his props too, bro. Yeah,
I said it on Tuesday's show. Yeah, and I didn't find any Jaquez props. He'd be the one right now for Miami, especially if Butler's out. I'd be interested. He stepped up, the kid out of UCLA. Yep.
I'm looking for him. So if you guys see him in the chat, man, shout it out, man. I'm looking for that.
Yeah, he's a baller, and absolutely he's a Bruin. That's the reason why. So can never talk you off of Jaquez, especially with how he's playing right now. I agree with what Babano was saying. I think you still have to go to the over. Dan, he's in agreement. He says the public thinks Heat equals under. This ain't the playoffs. He's thinking it's more of an over type game. I like his other comment he put here. He said Heat didn't D up the Bucks. That was an under spot in total pop. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pacers to the over. And I would agree. To not repeat anything you guys have said, on the season, you have 2 top 5 3-point shooting teams and 2 bottom 5 3-point defenses. Regardless if Miami wants to play a little bit faster or not, even though I think they will get paced up, I think there's a lot of good shot making and not a whole lot of defense. So I'm pretty sure I have to get involved here. I had it on my short list. Wanted to come and talk it out. I like the over in this game, regardless if Butler plays or not. But as far as the side
Indiana,
is concerned,
14-2 to the over this year. 14-2. That's quite the run.
Come on, man.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
And I lean towards the Heat, but I don't like taking the Heat when they don't have Butler. So I would need to know for certain that he's in. I'm in agreement with that. So good stuff on that game. Let's see. I want to see what S. Warrior has to say. We know this is his team. Heat, after losing 3 straight, they're the much better team. Nobody can stop Bam. Jaquez Jr. props have been the best prop this season.
No question.
Let's keep it going.
I definitely agree. Heat spot, but only with Jimmy for me.
For sure.
And Saturated says that points plus assists is 36.5. So 10.5 for his assists, points plus assists. They're expecting him to score, 27, 26, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see. Definitely wouldn't say under. Next game up, 505, 506, Detroit and New York opened up Knicks -13. They're now 14.5-point favorite. Total opened up 223, and it's dropped all the way as low as 218.5. As far as the injury report is concerned, for the Knicks, just Ryan Archie is game time, and for Detroit, he's likely to play though. For Detroit, Bogdanovich has been ruled out, Joe Harris out, and Monty Morris out. So I'm going to come back to you, Bobano, on this one. And this Detroit team has just been pretty pathetic pretty much all year. They've lost 15 in a row now, even after the team meetings, even after, saying how much they want to win, et cetera, et cetera. Is this point spread just a little too high for a New York team on the front end of a back-to-back? Or do you think that this Pistons team can stay within the number?
Yeah, there's nothing that could get me to the window with Detroit right now. Nothing. And in fact, Detroit's so bad And that because I have not really been looking to bet the Lakers very much, but you figured the Lakers got truly, truly humiliated by Philadelphia early this week, that they would take advantage of this just despicable Detroit team, and they did that last night. The Lakers rolled over Detroit. It's not even a sweat for anyone that was on the Lakers last night in that game. And now you're on a back-to-back. You're not even competitive right now in a lot of these games. That's what's disappointing, is that I've taken Detroit as a dog earlier this year, and I've had a lot of success. But these last 3 games, and you mentioned it, there was a team meeting in the mix too. I mean, poor Monty Williams. I mean, the man had to deal with Ayton and that bullshit in Phoenix and those fuckers, and now he thought maybe a clean, good young team, a lot more harmony here in Detroit. Not so much right now. So that guy's dealing with more stress on his plate right now, but very disappointing. They're not defending at all right now. They've given up 126 plus in 3 straight games. I've got a little split bet here going. I've laid it with New York, but a little on the team total over with the Knicks here as well in this game. A little bit on both. So the Knicks at the minus 14 in this one, and the team total is over 116.5 here on the Knicks. I like that. And one of my favorite props of the night here, the Detroit Pistons have been completely destroyed offensively by the opposing team's point guards. They have been absolutely lit up by one good scoring point guard after another. And guess who Detroit faces tonight? Pretty good one when he's on his game, in Jalen Brunson for the New York Knicks. So it is one of my favorite props tonight. Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points in this game as well.
Saturated also like that look. He shouted out Brunson over 24.5, quickly over 16.5, and Asar under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
The only concern is blowout potential, because I've lost a couple of props that way. That's how I lost Rozier the other night for Charlotte. Blowout, and he didn't even play much in the fourth quarter. But that's the risk you run with props in this price range where there's a 14-point favorite.
I agree. And it made me nervous that the Knicks are on the front end of a back-to-back, even though the Pistons are on the second of a back-to-back. But I looked at the Knicks on the front end of a back-to-back so far this season. They are 4-0 straight up and against the spread, winning by 16.8 points per game. So they're putting this point spread pretty damn close to that number. And 3 of those 4 games, they cleared this 116.5 team total that we're looking at tonight. So Detroit's defense has been poor, second worst defensive rated team in the last 5 games. I think I can agree on Knicks team total over. They do at least shoot the 3 well. They're top 10 shooting the 3, and Pistons are 19th defending the 3, very close to the bottom 10. So combination of all those things, I think even with the Knicks slow pace they like to play, Detroit's defense just that bad. Knicks team total over looks good. Wham Bam, are you in agreement? Is the Knicks side or Knicks team total, or are you looking at a couple of props like that Brunson look?
I like that Bronson look a lot. Yeah, this definitely is a Smack City spot. Man, Casey got me rolling here. Monty want to play a 20-man rotation. Do they even got 20 men in the damn team? That's funny as hell. That's hilarious to me. Yeah, Monty, I thought Babeno was about to rip up the rent for Monty Williams and the Detroit Pistons soon. I know it's coming soon, y'all. So he got it in the clip. It's ready to go. I'll start it off a little bit, I guess, here, because I'm with you all the way, man. One of the worst efficient teams. Not only are they terrible at defending, they just can't score either. They're like 49% effective field goal percentage, bro. Like, that's nasty. 28th in the league in the last 5 games. We know what type of pace they running. They trying to run up and down the court. You can't speed this Knicks team up. They running really slow. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. And this Pistons team just really suck. I know Cade. He's one of my favorite players, man. But when I start to look at anything Detroit Pistons, I try to scroll down to look at their real social media. The only highlight they got is a mid-range with Killian Hayes in that last game against the Lakers. That's pathetic, y'all. Y'all can't find a damn putback dunk. Y'all can't find nothing, a nice, clean layup, a mid-range Killian Hayes pull-up jumper. Oh, that's nasty, bro. So I'm only going to fade this team until otherwise, just based off the aesthetics of the shit. And honestly, I'm with you guys. I'm took in the first quarter, all seriousness. I think it's a serious spot for this Knicks team to start off hot. We know what type of time they have been on recently. 7-3 ATS over the last first half, in the first half. And it's the opposite for this Detroit team, 3-7 ATS. Again, they just don't start off good, and they just can't score. And they on top of that, they can't stop these guys from scoring. I'm going to take the 4.5 first quarter. I take the 8 in the first half as well. 8.5, I think you're getting. I don't have no problem with that, bro. So I'm taking them early Knicks. Full game. I think that this is maybe some bullshit though, because I think it's gonna be a blowout. You may see some fuckery down the line. They may backdoor the cover here, so I'm gonna stay away from the full game just because of that. But I think the first half is pretty much historic. We all know what type of rotation Thibodeau runs. We don't have to worry about that 20-man rotation bullshit. You know what I'm saying? On this side, we know he's gonna stick to the script there. So I like the early spot for the Knicks. First half -4.5, and first half -8.5, and the first quarter -4.5 for the Knicks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, damn, let me buy that Knicks first half
That was
-4.
Jeez.
But good stuff there, Wham Bam. And I didn't quite get that team total in my pocket, but I'm getting close. I'm getting closer to that Knicks team total, just letting you guys know. We'll keep it going to the next game, and that will be 507-508. The Hornets at the Nets. Opened up Nets -8. Not seeing a whole lot of movement here. 8.5 is what we're looking at. Total open 227, and we're seeing some movement there, down as low as 223.5. As far as the injury report for this team or for these teams, the Hornets have Brandon Miller still game time decision, true toss up to play. They'll be without LaMelo, Cody Martin, Frank Ntilikina, and Nick Richards. For the Nets, Royce O'Neal is game time, and they'll be without Clowney, Simmons, and Dennis Smith Jr. So I'm going to double back to you here, Wham Bam. And the first thing that comes to my mind is we saw it in that last game. No LaMelo, no Hornets, nothing. Hornets team total under. They barely scored 90 points in that last game. Now Brandon Miller is banged up too. I mean, I know they have Terry Rozier back, but I think we have to bet the Hornets team total under here. It makes I want to bet the Nets, but I just when I see the Nets in -8.5, even though they've been a really good point spread team this season, I don't view them as the -8.5 team. So, are you looking more towards how are you fading the Hornets in this game? I know you're fading them one way or another. You're not rolling with them, are you?
Not at all, bro. And I'm just taking the Nets. I'm taking them full game. I'm not gonna be scared. I'm trying to just stick to the script, bro. Not try to overthink this shit. It's a long ass card. You know what I'm saying? So if I try to oversimplify this stuff, it's gonna be making it. If I don't do that, it's gonna make it harder for me. You hear my son? He really likes this game a lot. I like the Brooklyn -8.5. Like you said, they've been one of the best ATS teams. 13-3-1 ATS. ROI is like 51%. The better team is Orlando Magic. We know what type of time that Orlando Magic is on too. So I think Brooklyn is definitely is right there, solid. And you said it, bro. Like this team is just not good without LaMelo. LaMelo did so much for this damn team, triple-double machine every night. You pull that out, then you got LaMelo light. Unfortunately, with Terry Rozier, he doesn't do half the shit that he does. You know what I'm saying? But he can have streaky moments. And then you see what I did last game. I think that the fact that Nick Richards is out, I thought that we were going to see a lot more aggressiveness from Miles Bridges to attack the boards, to do everything. But Saturate is right on point. He's coming in off that second unit, coming in with the second unit, just trying to score. I like that first quarter look for Bridges too. I think that who else do they have, man? Who else do they have other than him, bro? So I do like what you're going there with the Bridges look. I'm just thinking away from Bridges because I thought it was going to be a double night for him. He didn't get the rebounds. And then you look at the other kid, was it Mike Williams? Mike Williams, he's the one that did it up. So Mike Williams' double is pretty solid too. Today, I think you get a little bit more opportunity than last time. He said, well, got the 30 he loves. Hey, you can see everything. Shout out to you, bro. Hey, JPZ, bro. Hey, I'll start off with something else, but all seriousness here.
My bad, I messed you up.
No. Yeah, it's kind of funny as hell. No, all seriousness though, I do like Mark. I do like the double with Mark. I just don't want to go back to anything with the Hornets, just like you said, bro. Like, I think they get smoked here. So I took the 8.5 with Brooklyn. I think that they continue to do it, and that's just how I'm going to bet this game. I just think they will win this game in convincing fashion, and that's how I'm going to take it here. And I think that Charlotte Hornets, man, like they just getting one of the bad cases of everything, and I think they are one of those tank candidates for this season. You can kind of see it in them there a little bit, but no LaMelo, like you said, no way, bro. Give me the Nets.
And the more I think about it, I might be able to get there with the Nets. I did talk up that team total under for Hornets, and I am on that. But Babano, I just said in one of these previous breakdowns, the teams that I feel like I can trust to win by margin are the teams that shoot the three well and defend the three well. And I'm gonna shout out this comment really quick because it made me double take on my paper. Nets Bet says he likes the Nets tonight. Gives a lot of reasons why, but the ones that stood out to me: Brooklyn number 2 in 3-point scoring, Charlotte 27th defending the three, 29th defense overall. And yes, the number 2 3-point team, top 10 defending the three as well. Hornets, bottom 10 shooting the three, bottom 10 defending it. Why can't the Nets win by margin here? Are you on them tonight?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Why can't they? This is another one of these teams. I've been mechanically betting on Brooklyn almost every game. I had them against they're not my Toronto Raptors. I got a lot of Raptors fans. Deep down inside, do I wanted to see them do well, I guess, but I don't mind betting against the Raptors. Everybody knows that. And I thought Brooklyn was cheap against Toronto the other night. Brooklyn's been great. They're very well coached. I think Jacques Vaughn's done a nice job. They've got chemistry. They've got team chemistry. That's the best thing about Brooklyn right now. And even though they've missed Ben Simmons and he's been out, and they've had Royce O'Neal's game time decision, this Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Nick Claxton starting five has really developed some nice chemistry, both ends of the basketball court. And they have played great team ball. They've been very, very, they got a little bit of edge to them. They play physical basketball. They get after it. And they've been great this season as far as point spread wise, no question. 9-8 straight up, but 13-3-1 against the spread. Skee said something interesting. I don't know though if I trust them, as an 8.5 point favorite. I've got them as favorites of 7 or more twice, 2 previous times this year, 2-0 against the spread in those games. So I think you can trust Brooklyn now in this bigger favorite role, maybe more than we have in the past. Not to mention their opponent is depleted right now, Charlotte. Where is this team going to get consistent offensive production tonight? A team that got blown out by Orlando by 13, blown out by New York by 24 in their last 2 games, doesn't have LaMelo Ball, that may not have Brandon Miller tonight. And if they don't have Brandon Miller, it becomes very thin for the Hornets as far as who's going to step up. That being said, if Miller's out too, I'm coming back to the well with Rozier because he's the only one you're going to be able to trust for the Hornets to shoot the ball and score consistently. So I do like the Rozier prop tonight, especially if Brandon Miller's out. But I like Brooklyn here. I'm back on the Brooklyn Nets. I don't mind laying the modest number here, -8, -8.5. I think they get the job done here in this game. Charlotte's been blown out by margin each of their last 2 road games, double-digit losses to the Knicks and the Magic. Why not again tonight, especially with as depleted as they are? And then for props, I mentioned Rozier. Mark Williams is someone that you might have to get to step up for Charlotte, so over points for him. And then for Brooklyn, a couple props there. Mikal Bridges, I certainly wouldn't argue with that. I'm also going to look at rebounds over 9.5 for Claxton. I think he could feast on the glass. Nick Claxton over 9.5 rebounds tonight against this Charlotte team that I think is going to obviously probably miss a lot of shots tonight, quite honestly. So there'll be more rebound opportunities. And I think Nick Claxton, a good chance to clean those up as well. And then there was one more prop, I think, that I was it was Finney-Smith here for the Brooklyn Nets as well in this game.
I like that.
Dorian Finney-Smith over 4.5 rebounds as well. Both of those guys, I think Finney-Smith and Claxton, have a good night cleaning up those rebounds for the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I like that Finney-Smith rebounds. He's averaging 5.8 over the last 5 games, and I think this is just going to open up for him today with no Nick Richards. He's going to play with that second team too, so I like that a lot.
Hornets are a bottom 10 rebounding team the last 5 games, so a lot of good stuff said there. I think I'll be on the Nets tonight. I think I can add that to my I didn't take the Hornets team total under. I said I took it, but I misspoke. I wanted to take it, but I don't know. I wasn't sure which way to play this game. But after talking it out with you guys, I think
no back-to-back for Brooklyn. They got Orlando at home on Saturday. That's their next game, so no back-to-back, no real look ahead.
I think I like that team total under too, especially with Brandon Miller's out. Like, man, that boy been like one of their most consistent offensive players. You don't got him and LaMelo. That's tough.
All right, it comes down to how much do we trust the Nets defense? I know they're good defending the three, but in general, just overall defense, how much do we trust it? Because I know I trust their offense. I trust them to, not allow 3-pointers, but can they protect the rim? Like you betting on Bridges tonight. You obviously think the Hornets can do a little bit of something. I don't know. I just was having a little bit of trouble with this game, but I think after further review, like they held what the Raptors under 103.
They have
Bulls-
tough
They
5
played
games.
good fourth quarter defense, crunch time defense the other night against the Raptors. They did. Yep.
They had a tough 5 games. That's how I kind of look at their 5 games. Even though they ranked 16th defensive rating, they got the Hawks there, the Heat there. Toronto's playing pretty well.
Oh, tough schedule. Philly.
Yeah,
Yep.
Philly,
Lots of good
Philly's
teams
on that last
Yep.
5 games. So I kind of give them a little discount rather than it being 16, like middle of pack defense. I think they're a little bit more better than the middle of the pack. And then we got to add in these motherfuckers. They don't got nobody probably, especially if the boy out there. So I like Brandon Miller. I like that team total though, bro. If Brandon Miller's out for sure.
I'm just gonna glance at it one more time. Charlotte team total is 107.5, down from 109.5. So that has been on the move. Maybe
And
I'll
one more
get there
thing
with
about
both.
Charlotte. They had a 6-point loss against Miami. Other than that, this month, here's the other losses. Not wins. I'm talking losses. 16 to Washington. Lost by 22 to New York. 31 to Milwaukee. 14 to New York. 13 to Orlando. 24 to New York. So when they lose, all but one this month has been blowout. Loss. Non-competitive.
For Charlotte, correct?
For sure. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Good stuff. Real Deal Prime showing you some love in the chat says, we the North. I think he's directing this.
Phoenix, man. Holy shit.
Is he directing this at Babano or is he just saying for Toronto?
Oh, no. That's
Earlier when Babano was talking, he said raise it and put the flag like this too. So I just was unsure. But let me look at a couple more. Razor says, shout out to everyone. What up? Let's end this month with a bang.
Let's do it.
Razor sharp.
Let's do
He's
it.
been having a good month. Says he needs 0.9 units tonight so he can have 50 plus units game in back-to-back months. So shout out to Razor for killing it.
Golly.
And let's keep it moving on over to the next game. Next game will be 509, 510, Atlanta Hawks and San Antonio Spurs. Game opened up Hawks -6.5. They are now 7.5 point favorite. Total opened up 244.5. We're looking at 248, even 248.5 in some spots. I'm gonna come to Babano here. It's just I don't like the Hawks on the road. It's very uncomfortable for me to lay this kind of a margin. I know that Wemby's game time, but I don't think I can get there with the Hawks minus. Can you?
No, I definitely can't. Atlanta's never really one of those teams I'm comfortable with laying in this price range on the road. Even though, as you mentioned, with San Antonio, it's Victor Wembanyama game time decision right now for San Antonio. Jeremy Sohan, he is going to play actually. Sohan with the knee injury, so he's going to be okay. He'll be in there, but Wemby is definitely a true game time. It's a shame because I liked Wemby's assists over in this game, but I don't think we may not see him, so we may not get a chance to bet that here tonight in this game. But I thought assists and/or rebounds with him was worth a look. If he does play, I still think it is worth a look. I'm on the over in this game. I agree with the move up as far as the total goes. I think San Antonio, with them offensively, at home, and they're able to, I think, do a little bit more damage at that end of the basketball court. Obviously, they struggle defensively. There's no question. But, at home, they've been able to put up points. They've also trended over in a lot of their home games. They're coming into tonight. You take out the 2 Clipper games, and their other home games this month all went over the total. So, yeah, I think they'll be able to score. Atlanta will be able to do their share of damage here as well. At the offensive end against this San Antonio Spurs team. Probably going to see a lot of points, like I said, in this game. It's a high total. You're not getting a huge true bargain by any stretch of the imagination, but I agree with the move up as far as the total goes. Nothing on the side for me.
Bam, bam. I'm going to come to you on this one. Would this perhaps be one of those? I remember you said in the beginning of the year, you were talking about like those unknown player props.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say unknown too much, but not everybody's looking at him. But Zach Collins over 13.5 points tonight. Would that make your radar? Versus bottom 10 defenses, he's averaging 18.7. And we know how bad Atlanta defense is. Spurs well rested, 3 days compared to one, although they're on the front end of a back to back. How are you looking at it, Wham Bam?
Man, you that shit that makes sense, especially with Wemby may be out. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't see that available, so maybe they don't want that to be right then and there. Like, they don't want it to. Damn, that threw me off right there. I like that look a lot, honestly, bro. Because first thing I think about in this team, I look to go with Vassell. He's like one of my favorite players to bet with this team. But honestly, I was backwoods the hell out of this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just had no way I was gonna just jump in here without Wemby being in here. I do like Vassell for sure, but I just don't want to. I think they have to be able to score on this team, and they got the players to do so. Like, I like Keldon, I like Vassell here. I think they are going to be competitive, so that goes along with what you're saying. That's why it blew me away with the Collins look, because I watch this team a lot, and I always be like, damn, why I don't never bet or look into him, and I just always forget about it, bro. And when you said it right now, it just really highlighted that. So I'm going to look into that, and I'm definitely going to write that down. But I originally thought this was gonna be a backwood. I thought I was gonna be with Dutch on this one for the day. I was like, yeah, me and Dutch ain't talking about this game. So I figured when I circled this one, I was like, nah, it's no way here for me. But if I had to bet anything, I'm gonna look into that Collins, because I don't see it here. See if we get a favorable look with that. But I would go Vassell. I think he gets 20 today, because I think it got to be competitive, and he's been averaging that over the last 3 games. So that's what I would be doing. But I'm staying away.
Yeah, I don't love this game either, but if I was on it, it would be that Zach Collins over prop. And Wayne Butler, shout out to you for becoming a member.
Trey should get
I'm
over his point prop. It's always tricky. I seem to be on it for the wrong game when I take it, but tonight should be a good night for Trey scoring the basketball. So I'm with saturated. His prop makes sense. Trey Young over points.
Trey Young over points. And yeah, it makes sense to me too. We'll keep it going here. Next game up, try to get through this slate. We've been on here, 42 minutes? We still have 4 more games left.
FTB, this is your FTB game of the night, not fuck the bookies. Being the Bulls game of the night. The annual nightly tradition it's become.
5'11", 5'12", Bucks at Bulls. Open Bucks minus 7.5. Now as high as a 9 out there. Total opened 229. Haven't seen much movement there. Injury report, Connaughton and Crowder. They're both going to be out here for the Bucks. Looking at the Bulls, Caruso, DeRozan, Levine, all game time decision. Nobody. I mean, Levine doesn't want to be there for sure, but what are they even doing over there with the Bulls? Like, you need to go ahead and just make that trade right now. He's wasting everybody's time every single night. That's how I feel like when they show up to the arena. So, only way I could look in this game is Bucks minus. But Banna, tell us why you like it.
That's because I just cash every time I bet against Chicago right now. That's the main reason. I mean, that's the main reason why I like Milwaukee tonight. I mean, 0-5 against the number, and it goes back even further. Like, I've just been going against the Bulls every night. I think the one time that they got me was Miami, the first of the 2 they played the Heat. Other than that, they've been a point spread disaster. And look at these last 5 losses, 0-5 straight up in ATS. All 5 of them by 9 points or more. So they're not even coming close in these games. So 9-point win will get the job done here for Milwaukee. And Milwaukee is starting to piece things together. 8-1 their last 9 games. They're starting to get some better chemistry. The defense is improving a little bit. We know they're always going to be able to score when you have Middleton and you have the dynamic duo of Dame and Giannis. They're going to have that inside-outside dominance as far as scoring is concerned. And Chicago's not defending at all right now, which is another reason they're having issues. So very easy decision here. I think Milwaukee gets it done. You look at the schedule. They've got Atlanta at home Saturday, no back-to-back. There's nobody resting or sitting out other than the guys that are injured, Connaughton and Crowder going into this game. And Crowder, of course, for the Bucks, he's been out a while. Only Connaughton is a new addition to the injury list. They can carry on well enough, especially against this struggling team without him. So I like Milwaukee here, minus 8.5. I have no issue laying the points with the Bucks in this game. Smaller bet to the over as well, because I think just Chicago is just almost like they've given up trying defensively at times. So I think the game's got a chance to go over the total, but I like the side even more. Milwaukee minus 8.5.
I like it. I like what you said. I agree with what Nets Bets is saying here. He said they
Mhm,
beat them on November 11th by 9. It was Dame's worst game of the season. He had
mhm.
12 points, 3 for 17, and he's been balling now. Um, he said Chicago's on a 5-game losing streak, losing by 16 points per game. I just pulled this up right here. I might as well just put it up on the screen. But I don't have to. I can just tell you guys. This is simple. But Bulls have lost 14 games this season. They've only covered one out of those 14 losses. And I mean, if they lose, they're just gonna lose by margin.
Yep.
Nobody cares. So
So that means they're
um
14 losses. They're 1-13 against the spread in those games. Wow.
Nasty.
Cool.
yeah, it's nasty work right there. And I remember Underdog NBA, their last game, it was like DeRozan, uh
I see that tweet.
ankle slash scoreboard and Levine ankle slash scoreboard or something like that. I'm like, damn, the Bulls need to just blow it up, man. Just blow it
Yeah,
up.
man. Yeah.
Talk to him, man.
Yeah,
What you
nah,
thinking?
I mean, we've been talking about this. I mean, since the season started, damn near now. Like, it's just coincidence. Just a coincidence. My boy got a acronym for FTB. Fade the Bulls, bro. Fade them motherfuckers, man. Fade them, bro. And player today in this game has got to be Brook Lopez, bro. If I'm gonna go to a player that's gonna catch you off guard, it's gonna be Brook fucking Lopez. 13 and a half points. I like the threes though, man. Just take 1.5 threes minus 120. That's on the card. But it's the Bucks first half, man. We're going back to the script. I wrote stick to the script big as hell on my paper. It's Bucks first half is what I've been doing, man. What I've been thinking about in this game, not what I have been doing because they've been losing in that regard. 3-7 actually ATS over the last 10 games in the first half, the Bucks. But you said it in the chat. They said in the chat they've been playing a lot better, and they're going up against a team that's just as bad, if not just way worse. 1-9 in the last 10 ATS in the first half. They worse than the damn Bucks, and I think the Bucks are a better team. And I love that stat. I love the thought process behind Damian Lillard having a better game today. When he said that, first thing I thought about was a 40 ball coming from him today, and they feeding him just because they want him to beat down on the divisional foe. And I agree with you, Dan Kelly. Billy Donovan should retire. As soon as you start to argue about the differential, that's the reason why these guys are in there trying to run up the score. Why are you arguing? Sit your ass on the rim bench. Sit down, man. You don't know what we're doing with the league. You should retire, my boy. I agree with you, Dan, on that. But I'm with
Back to
it.
the Florida Gators.
Yeah. Go back down south. Go to SEC. Cook it up, though, because he definitely would cook if he did go back to Florida. That'd be crazy. But, yeah, I'm on 4.5. 4.5 in the first half for the Bucks. I just think that they're going to just hold it down in the first half here. So I just sticking straight to that. I think it is a Smack City spot, but I got like 11 plays already today. So I just want to keep it a little bit more small here in this one. And Brook Lopez is on my card too. So I got over 13.5 points. And then we take the -1.5, -123s for Brook Lopez. They got to stretch that floor and he's going to knock those threes down.
Maybe Wham Bam is liking Brook Lopez because they holding our boy hostage tonight. Tell the Bucks, man, stop being cowards. Put Bobby Portis props up on the board. Where is Bobby Portis? Points, rebounds, double, something. Put Bobby up on the board, you cowards.
Yeah, they scared.
That's how
they ain't gonna do that, bro. Come on, man. They gotta put plus money because he off the bench, and that's what they not gonna do that.
Exactly, and he kills him every time. He's averaging a double since he's been playing the Bulls on the Bucks. So that's what I'm waiting on as far as player props are concerned. And I think I've been talked into, or at least write it on my short list here. Bucks minus the 8.5 now. Best number you can get. Make sure you guys line shot. Don't take that 9 if you like them. Yeah, Casey, free Bobby. What are you gonna say, Babeno?
Oh, nothing. I'm done. I've
Okay.
said all I need to say about this one. Yep. Oh, Giannis over points. I like that. I do agree with that. He destroys Chicago. No issues with that.
Yeah, I could get with that as well. We'll go over to the next game. Warrior does like the first quarter for the Bucks too. Next game up, we will go Jazz and T-Wolves, 5-13, 5-14. This one opened up Wolves -9.5. They're now an 11-point favorite. Total opened up 224. is down to 220.5. As far as the injury report is concerned, Clarkson is game time decision along with Kelly Olynyk, and Jazz will be without Chris Dunn and Laurie Markkinen. For the Wolves, Anthony Edwards is game time decision here, but doubtful. They'll be without Clark, McDaniels, and McLaughlin. So, Wham Bam, I'm coming back to you here. Um, Wolves have been pretty dominant at home. I think they've only failed to cover one game. I don't remember seeing them as 11-point favorites.
Mhm.
So that makes me a little bit nervous here. But one thing I know I can rely on is the Wolves defense. So maybe you're looking at some Jazz props under, or you're looking at somebody to fill the void for Anthony Edwards on the T Wolves side.
Yeah, that's what I would probably want to go Cat here. I would probably think Cat has a good game, just off of based off of him not being in the lineup there. But this game is kind of tricky because I'm thinking that the Timberwolves are famous here, and this is a big famous line, bro. 11 without your best player, Anthony Edwards, doubtful here. But it is reflecting on the other side. There's a lot of guys that's out, questionable at least. Kelly Olynyk, Clarkson, Laurie Markkinen, those three figures right there for this Jazz team for sure. But that being said, man, I don't know. I know you would think defense here, but I don't know. Something's telling me offense is going to be played in this game, bro. I don't know. I'm just starting to think this is a sneaky cover towards the over. And Keontae George is a guy that I probably will be looking into with a lot of those guys out on the Jazz. And yeah, I would go Cat here. But again, I got a big ass card today. So this is one of the games I'm back with. I'm staying away from just because I don't have to jump here. And I think it's a famous spot. I think a lot of people want to back the Timberwolves right now, rightfully so, because then you set the defense and everything. I'm just stay away from it. I'm gonna just stay away from it there. But if I had to, it's gonna be Cat and George. I would look at those two props points.
George, I think if you're betting on him, you're betting on his assists mostly, but I think he's a good look. Babano, we know how much you've liked the T Wolves over the years. Are you into laying this big number with them, or could I talk you into a Utah team total under? I mean, last 5 games, Minnesota's the best defense. Jazz are the second worst offense. How are you looking to play it?
That's definitely a solid look. I mean, I just don't want to lay this many with Minnesota. They've been great at home, 8-1 straight up in ATS at home, but a lot of these instances they haven't been laying this many points, and they are still without a very critical component for their team, Anthony Edwards, who's doubtful with the hip issue tonight. McDaniel's still out, of course, one of their better defenders. Utah's banged up, obviously. Clarkson being out would be a big loss. And then in the front court, a little thin as well with Markkinen out. Kelly Olynyk may not play as well. So get ready for a lot of John Collins. And there's an old blast from the past, maybe a little Omer Yurtseven showing up tonight here for the Utah Jazz. He'll have to play more minutes if both Olynyk and Markkinen are out in that front court for Utah. So I don't want Utah. I know that. That was ugly for Utah last night. I don't want the Jazz in this spot. Not on a back-to-back. Not after they got beaten last night on the road by a not very good Memphis team that was able to just dummy them essentially last night, 105-91. Not a good effort from them. No offense to speak of. But it's a lot of points. A few too many for me. So pass for me on this game.
Oh, pass for Bobano. I'm going to back the T Wolves by backing their defense. That's something I've been doing pretty consistently when they're at home. At home, Minnesota holding opponents to around 101.1 points per game. So Utah is down 3 points to 104.5 as the team total. I still think it stays under tonight. We will move over to the next game. That will be 5:15, 5:16. Lakers at Oklahoma City. The Thunder open -6.5. They're now -5.5 or -6. Total open 227.5, and we're looking at 232.5. So I'm gonna come to you, Babano. And for this game, oh my bad, the injury report. I got my mind all over the place. I'm thinking about Razor. He's leading us into this game because he had to go with his gambler's first glance. If I can find that comment, there it is. $300 gambler first glance for him. Lakers +6. Injury report for tonight. I don't see anybody on there for OKC. For the Lakers, on the second of a back-to-back, I see Max Christie and LeBron both game time decision. AD is more like probable. Jackson Hayes and Cam Reddish also game time decisions. They will continue to be without Rui, Vanderbilt, and Vincent. So, OKC's been really good so far this year. Top 5 offensive and defensive rated team in the last 5 games. They're the best team shooting the three this season and top 5 defending it versus an unrested Lakers team. As Razor say, it looks so easy to go take the OKC Thunder, right? Are they wrong tonight, Bobano?
I'm not on OKC tonight. Actually, I'm not on this game at all tonight. I don't want to lay this many with Oklahoma City right now. They did have Giddey is apparently going to play. It looks like too. We know there's the issues still going on with him, but you look since they played, and I'd still right now rather take them as a underdog or a short favorite. Laying the bigger points at this point, not so much. I don't want the Lakers. I don't want LA on a back-to-back on the road when there's a concern that LeBron's going to sit. And yes, they got a nice win last night for me against Detroit, but that was more anti-Detroit than it was pro-Lakers. And the fact, too, the Lakers got embarrassed against Philly. I figured for one night they're going to step on someone's throat, and they did that last night against Detroit. I don't trust them here. Oklahoma City's a better team right now, and it's a back-to-back on the road for this aging team. We'll see if LeBron plays. But at the same point in time, another thing that I looked at and what kept me off the Thunder, I lean Thunder, but what kept me off it too is look at the head-to-head versus Lakers with these two teams. It's been very close. Lakers have won 4 of the last 7 meetings, and the wins by the Thunder were by 3 points both times. So, they have not shown that ability to extend and win by margin necessarily against this Lakers team. So, you got to not only win, but win by margin. I just ultimately decided, you know what, we'll leave this game alone here tonight. Lean Thunder, didn't get there.
Well, wham bam, man. Babano's not fading the Lakers tonight. We don't have Dutch on here to be hating on the Lakers tonight.
I love the background too. I love that background too.
Can we sneak a little Lakers bet in tonight? Are they the right side?
I love this background too. And then, yeah, Dan, I owe you some cake, my brother. I owe you some cake. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And you said it, Babano. First thing I did want to go back and look at the head-to-head. Lakers have been able to win 4 of the last 5, cover 4 of the last 5. And that game that they did lose was one of the heart-wrenching games where we lost with Russell Westbrook and all that good stuff. They lost down the stretch, overtime fashion. I remember it very vividly. Could have had 6 straight. You know what I'm saying? Could have been 5 straight wins and covers with this team. So I think that since the trade with D'Lo, and D'Lo looked great last game, it looked good. So since the trade in D'Lo, we have been able to do something with this OKC team. Chet Holmgren is a fucking monster, bro. He's going to do whatever the fuck he want to do with us. I think AD is going to be doing what he wants to do as well, though. So that's kind of, that conflicts within each other. Do we have action here? I love racers on this. When Razor and Jimmy are on the Lakers, good things happen. I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching this shit, and I've been telling y'all. We said it last time. It was Oklahoma Kitty, and it's they gonna start fucking. Like last time they covered though. Like last time they held it down, but I think it's gonna start to find their way. It's gonna start to find a way on the other side of that shit. But I like the Lakers here today. Did I bet this? No, I did not, bro. I want to see some of these bets cash in here. I'm thinking about adding that Aiden double before I add the Lakers here. So I might be adding that there. So if Aiden gets the double, go over to PRA, I'm most likely going to be on this Lakers spot here. I don't think we got to jump to it quick. I don't think it's going to move too crazy. It may move to 5 for the Lakers here, but I think the fact that they're going to be underdogs and it's going to be a tight enough game, and they have a chance to win this game. I think I got a good. I know I'm going to be on the Lakers tonight. It's just that, am I going to bet and tell you guys? I don't know. I don't know. But I got a lot of action here, so hopefully we win today. But Oklahoma Kitty is definitely on my fade list right now until I see something goes down with Josh Giddey, man. But, yeah, I definitely like the Lakers. I like the Lakers today. I like both LA teams, so we'll just segue into the other game. I like both LA teams tonight.
There
we go.
Yeah. Okay. I do want to shout out Russell. I think he's been having success with his assists. I would look towards that again tonight. I think AD would be pretty good on the rebounds versus OKC tonight too. But hey man, might have to do a little something in this Lakers game. I was thinking more of an under initially. OKC's been really good defense and not playing that fast the last 5 games, bottom 10 in pace. Lakers top 10 defensive rated team in that same span too. So looking at yesterday's game, only D'Angelo Russell played more than 30 minutes. I think the Lakers capable of hanging around in this game on a back to back. So maybe I'll get there. But we move over to the next game.
SGA and
And
LeBron for point props. I like both of them in that game. SGA, LeBron's actually done well against OKC in the past, so there's another one. If he plays though, which we don't know yet.
yeah, he's always on the injury report. Somebody earlier said injury report.
The GOAT.
Injury report GOAT.
GOAT. Greatest of all time. Yep.
Are
Anthony Davis up there too.
Are they mirroring the Clippers, trying to be available for the rest of the season? Are they mirroring the Clippers? And they just showing up on injury report and being at because they've been playing. They haven't been missing games.
It's been that way for LeBron and AD though. And
yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them out there, man. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Last game up for today, we got Clippers and Golden State. This one opened up Golden State -4.5. They're now 2.5 point favorites. Total open, early on my other side, they said it opened in the 230s. This side is saying it opened 228 and it's down to 227. Injury report. I see Chris Paul, Gary Payton, and Wiggins now out for Golden State. For the Clippers, Norman Powell is game time decision. He's doubtful. They'll be without Boston. They'll be without Plumlee. Clippers had went under 8 games in a row before last night. Golden State missing a good amount of players here tonight. I mean, Steph can't score all the points. Is this more of an under type game? I'm coming to you, Wham Bam. Or, are you looking to take advantage of some of those Golden State players being out and playing some props?
Man, Steph been doing everything, bro. I just hate to see it. I really hate to see it. No Chris Paul tonight. No Andrew Wiggins tonight. No Gary Payton, man. The second. What a terrible story. I'm sorry, KC. Close your ears, Queen. What a terrible story, bro. Golly. I'm not trying to break your soul, baby, but damn. It just don't look good for y'all. And then on
He's
top
Beyonce-ing you, yeah.
I'm sorry.
He won't break your soul. He won't break your soul.
No, for sure. No, for sure. And I'm not trying to do that. Man, listen. Klay Thompson, we need you. Am I betting you today? Hell nah, bro. I'm not touching you at all. And the reason why is because I think that, yes, you can go off. You can get the 20 piece like you did last game. You did it up for us last time. You saved my day for sure with the Klay Thompson ladder. So I appreciate you. But no Chris Paul, no Andrew Wiggins, no other defensive guy, and Gary Payton. Man, I don't know how you think under, KC. Maybe you know something I don't know. I can only think over here just because if y'all gonna score, if y'all gonna play, y'all gonna keep up and win this game, is because they got Curry out there going crazy. And honestly, I don't think that they have somebody that could guard him on the other side for sure. So he has that option for sure to do that. But him alone is not going to beat this Clipper team. And I think that's the reason why I'm on the Clippers today, because I think they have been able to figure it out. I talked to one of my friends. This is just a sidebar here. I talked to one of my friends who's always been a Clipper fan. Me and him have a head-to-head lifetime bet with the Lakers and the Clippers. I actually probably mentioned them before, but he talked to me yesterday and it was random as hell. And I said, "What's wrong with your team?" He says, "Ty Lue." And he said, "The fucking rotations. It sounds similar to that 20-man rotation that we was talking about earlier." And I ain't gonna lie. As soon as y'all know I'm a apologist with Russell Westbrook, but as soon as they put him on the bench, I thought that, man, they kind of messed up a little bit there. But I understand the reasoning because you got James. I don't know if this James shit is gonna work, bro. And this is a game where it will work, it will show good, but long term, I don't think it's gonna work. They have been playing better. I like the Clippers here today. I just think it's a bad spot for the Golden State Warriors. If you look at who's going, like what trajectory is like going up and what's going down, you're obviously going to look at the Clippers saying that they're on the positive side of things. And with this injury report, these defensive players out for the damn Golden State Warriors, and knowing the heavy load, the type of carrying that the backpack he's gonna have to carry for this damn Golden State Warriors team today. I don't know, man. So I'm only going Clippers, bro. Money line. I know Casey don't want to hear it. Get Wham the mic off. I'm sorry, Queen. I'm not trying to conflict here. I'm just talking long term. I'm not trusting the Clippers, but today they to play. That's all I'm gonna say. Today they to play. Take the money line, man.
But Bano, do you agree today the Clippers are to play, or how are you looking at it?
I am going to take them, and I don't like them as much as last night. Last night was a bigger position for me with the Clippers against Sacramento, which I think was just the perfect setup for them. I do like them still here, +3 tonight against Golden State, but not as much. To me, when I look at Golden State, I still see a team that's nothing to write home about. And we always were fearful of betting against this team at home. Not anymore. 1-8 against the spread at home this year. 1-8. 1-8 at New Oracle. ATS this year, this Golden State team. So they've been absolutely brutal as far as covering numbers here on their home floor. And it's been endless with them. You know, they've just got 2 wins in their last 10 games. I think it's just going to be difficult for them. And look, it's not like the Clippers last night had to go balls to the wall against Sacramento. They won comfortably. You look at the minutes that Ty Lue had his guys out there for. Russell Westbrook just 19. Paul George 39 was the most on the team. Harden 38, Leonard 36. It's not as bad as it could have been. You know, nobody hit 40 minutes. It wasn't taxing minutes because they were comfortably ahead for much of that game. I think that leaves even a team with older guys like PG and Kawhi, wheelchair, but he's been Kawhi all this season because he's been healthy pretty much the whole time. But they've been healthy. And Harden, you know, even with his age, you know, it was not taxing minutes for them last night because of the position of the game. They were comfortably ahead. So, you know, to me, Chris Paul out, Peyton Wiggins out. You know, Steph Curry is going to have to carry the offense because Klay Thompson's shot is MIA. It's not consistent. What else are you going to get from everyone else is just a big fat question mark right now. So Clippers trying to get on some kind of roll. And if you actually look at the last few games, they're showing some signs at least. You know, they're 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games. And of course, the majority of those games, they've been laying points. Now we get them as a slight dog. It's worth noting the last time they were an underdog was against Denver, the defending champs on the road. They lost by 3 and covered the number. So, yeah, I am on the Clippers here tonight, +3.
I love KC Hart, man. I love your heart, KC. I'm just going I love you to death.
Hey, everybody on the Clippers, huh?
Hey, I'm just saying, listen. All right.
No, I'm kidding. But Justin's not. He says, wait, are y'all seriously betting the Clippers? Not me. So I understand not wanting to get there. But a lot of people, Wham Bam, Babano, Razor even came in, bet the Clippers here. Clippers on the back-to-back. I feel like, you know, they played it a lot more than I like as far as the main guys. I can't get there with Golden State, though, just because I feel like they're missing too much now. So it'll be Clippers or pass, and I just got to pass. Can't bet this game. So that is the NBA card for Thursday. I know there are like 5 games tomorrow. I didn't look too close into them because we haven't even had lines. They just now, probably during this show, started popping these lines out for a few games. But I will go around the horn and see if there's any kind of look ahead. I see Orlando -11 versus Washington, Dallas -9.5 versus Memphis, and Toronto -1.5 versus New York. Totals on those games: Washington game is 237 versus Orlando, Memphis is 230.5 versus Dallas, and New York is 216.5 versus Toronto. I'll start off, and I'll just say we don't have a line for that Philly versus Boston game tomorrow, but if Porzingis was in, I like Boston quite a bit. I do think Horford always does a good job versus Embiid, but can he do it for the entire game without having any, real big help over there? I don't know. Embiid sat that last game. He's going to be fresh. Depending on that line, I probably might get there on the Philly side. Might have to this time around. Washington and Orlando again. I mean, I'm not betting Washington. I have no reason to bet Washington. Only way to look in those games is Orlando, probably even first half again. Memphis, Dallas. I would probably look towards an over in that game. I don't trust Dallas defensively. So for them to win by 10 plus points, think they light up the scoreboard. New York and Toronto, don't really feel strongly about that game, but those are two teams who don't want to play the fastest, although Toronto's been playing a little bit faster lately. And two teams I trust a little bit more defensively than offensively. So just lean towards the under. San Antonio, New Orleans. I think New Orleans will continue to play well. I didn't like when we took them versus the Jazz, but they took care of business last night, getting CJ back and a little bit more healthy. I think they're going to get Murphy back too. That's going to help with the spacing. Might look towards New Orleans to take advantage of the Spurs there. And then big game in Phoenix versus Denver. Phoenix had their 7-game win streak snapped in that last one. Denver got Jamal Murray back in that last one. So it should be a tough, nice matchup. I think the thing I can trust most here is I'll trust points to be scored if they give us a reasonable total. So I'll come to you, Bobano. And how are you looking at the Friday card right now?
Yeah, right now, I'm definitely thinking of coming right back to what I had the other night with Washington, Orlando. Orlando team total full game over. Washington doesn't defend anybody like Indiana. So what's going to change? And Orlando's playing great basketball. So because the only thing I could think of to take Washington is you're going to rely on Orlando being flat because they already beat this team up once. That's the only plausible explanation you could have for liking Washington. But I think Orlando's just much better right now. So I might stick with those same two. Philly, Boston, not a strong feel right now. I don't love betting against the Sixers off a loss because they lost to New Orleans the other night. They'll want to bounce back. So we'll see how it goes. But maybe a lean to Philly, but I don't know if I'll get involved there. I'm actually tempted by Memphis against Dallas for as bad as Memphis is because Dallas is not a 9.5-point home favorite type of success story. Not over the years at all have they been good as those bigger favorites closer to double digits. Not at all. And still defensively, I have my issues trusting them to lay a number like that. I know Memphis is not good, but Memphis did have albeit Utah's got issues, but they put away a pretty bad Utah team last night. But maybe it's a sign that, Memphis can maybe get things going a little bit. We're not asking them to win that game. We're asking them to stay inside 9.5 points. They might be capable of that because Dallas just not a trustworthy 9.5-point favorite for me. I might look at the Raptors at home. New York on the second of a back-to-back. We'll see how it goes tonight for them against Detroit. But certainly I would think that the Raptors are in a good scheduling spot there. And they've played well at home against the Knicks over the years as well. New York for a long time really had trouble winning in Toronto. So maybe a lean Raptors there. And that was a great win for them against Phoenix last night. That shows you what they're capable of when they put it all together. The problem is with the Raptors, they don't always do that. San Antonio, New Orleans. Look, New Orleans, there's some light at the end of the tunnel for them. Bad start to the year, but suddenly you look at the last few games. They've won 5 of the last 7. They're getting a little bit better. I would look maybe toward the Pelicans here with San Antonio on a back-to-back and probably Zion Williamson over points. That's been a prop I've been going with lately, and he had into the 30s against Philly the other night. So Zion right now is starting to get it going for the Pelicans. And then Denver, Phoenix, great game. I trust the proven commodity. That's Denver more than the unproven commodity. That's Phoenix. Phoenix is losing to Toronto on the road. You can certainly lose to Denver. But they are off a loss. They're at home. It's a circled spot for Durant, Booker and all these guys facing the champs. So you'll get Phoenix's best probably. And that's probably part of the reason why maybe they lost to Toronto the other night with this game on deck. But good game. I still trust Denver more than Phoenix, but I don't know if I'll bet it because I think you'll get Phoenix's best punch.
Good stuff there, Babano. It's time for you, Wham Bam. How you feeling about the Friday slate?
Yeah, I like Paulo Banchero started off there. He had only 6 points in that last game yesterday against this Wizards team. So the game prior, he had 30 points and 12 rebounds. So I think he gets to the points, rebounds, and assists tomorrow and could help these teams cover that 11 points. So I do like the 11. I'm just not going to I haven't jumped on that yet. I haven't jumped on anything yet, but that Paulo is the first thing I'm going to look into, points, rebounds, and assists. And then as far as the let me see. I just had it up here. My fault, y'all. Yeah, so as far as that other game there, I go to the big game too. So that Denver-Phoenix game, yeah, the Devin Booker, obviously we want to see if him in there. But I'm looking at KD in this game, though. I think KD got to just go crazy in this game. You got to just help your team win convincing fashion. this Phoenix team has been very mediocre as of late. And if they are going to have any shot against this Laker team, I think on that first game in that semifinals, they got to start revving it up. And we need to get Bradley Beal back in the fold of things soon. So I think that they have a really good showing against Denver there. As far as the Zion-Wemby matchup, maybe Wemby does sit tonight because they got to go up against Zion tomorrow. So that makes so much sense now that I think about it. But I like Zion in that matchup, like you guys are saying. This Pelicans team, I thought they were going to be better on every time he plays. So I'm just going to just think of it that way. And then Knicks, I think the Knicks first half is still a good look tomorrow, even though they're going to have to go through customs. And what else? Yeah, then I kind of agree with you, Babano, with Memphis. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things that I just, it may be outside of what I wrote on the thing, sticking to the script, because this is not the script at all with them playing pretty good here. But that may be it. That may be the script because, like you mentioned about Dallas at home laying this big number. I like Bane coming. I like Bane having a bounce, having good game here. So I think that Memphis is a good spot for the against Dallas. But other than that, I think Paolo Banchero will probably be my favorite play tomorrow. Points, rebounds, and assists.
Saw two back to back for Dallas, where tomorrow night they host Memphis, and then Saturday night they host Oklahoma City. So there you go. That's another negative for Dallas there.
Yeah, I need some more time for these games for tomorrow. We just now got the lines, but a lot of good initial thoughts around the horn. And now it's that time, man. It's that time for this show. We've been on here an hour and 17 minutes. Y'all know I'm hungry. Wham bam. Coming to you first. It's time for the best bets. And let people know I didn't get paid.
Whew. So I got a big list, man. There's a lot of games that I really like. So I'm going to give y'all two. And one of them is because Babano, I wrote down what Babano said. Every road game this year, Tyrese Halliburton has went over his assist prop. So we're going to go with that being the first best bet, over 10.5 assists for Tyrese Halliburton. We're going right back to the well with that. But then the next one, I'm going to take the Nets, man. The Nets minus 8.5. I think they hold it down. One of the best ATS teams so far this year. We're going to go Brooklyn Nets to just keep smashing and smashing on this Hornets team because they just don't got nobody out there. So we're going Nets full game minus 8.5, and then we're going Tyrese Halliburton over 10.5 assists minus 125.
I like it, and I was thinking there might be a you won't break my soul play today in there, but I guess not. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna leave Babano for last. And Babano, you probably know why I'm leaving you for last. We get those special occasions every now and then when he gets to close us out. So for my best bet for the show, I've only placed one bet so far. I'm taking it slow today because I've been a little bit cold. I've been cold. Best bets for these shows have been winning, but I want to keep that going. So the other one that I like the most right now, I'm gonna put in my pocket. Best number you can get. We're gonna go Lakers and Oklahoma City under 233. I just see both of these teams really getting up tonight. I really trust Thunder's defense, and Lakers been showing it on that end as well. So we'll go with Lakers OKC under 233 for myself. And Babano, you're gonna be the one to take us home tonight. Let the people know what's the best way to get paid, and help us get out of here.
Yeah, it's FTB Thursday. Fade the Bulls. We're going to go right back to the well. Milwaukee Bucks, fear the deer. Milwaukee minus 8.5 against Chicago. This has been a routine bet against team for me, and it is again tonight. We're going to lay it with Milwaukee minus 8.5 for best bet. And that's a wrap for this edition of the OG NBA Crew edition of the show. Right here on Skee Profits YouTube channel. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button on the way out. And I guess when Dutch isn't here, in the spirit of Dutch, we got to do, or at least try to do his outro. So hit the like button and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.